You are listening to Filthy Armenian Adventures.
Acoustically perfect. Ladies and gentlemen, there will be an unavoidable interruption in the program.
Well, things are getting real hot and heavy around here. So tonight we are going to take a walk outside. Just 5 minutes by foot from the condo where I began to be alive on 2045 Holly Drive to the Hollywood Bowl. There are lots of organic amphitheaters in the canyons of LA, amplifying coyote concertos, but the grandest of them all is the one in Bolton Canyon, off Highland Avenue, right next to the 101. The one with the famous concentric arches. Concentric arches nestled into the hills with two searchlights beaming like white swords across each other into the blue night sky. Concentric arches, which you'll recognize if you ever find your way to Vinewood Bowl in Grand Theft Auto V. Concentric arches, as depicted in several Looney Tunes, especially the long-haired hare, where Bugs Bunny assumes the role of Conductor Leopold to make his nemesis tenor sing until the arches implode. The bowl didn't always have those concentric arches. Frank Lloyd Wright Jr.'s first bandshell was a pyramid design in the style of Mesoamericana, and it had, by all accounts, the best acoustics in the history of the theater. But it was too freaky for 1927, so they tore it down after a season and asked him for a new one. He came up with the 120-degree concentric arches. By the time I made my first visit to the bowl to see Nancy Wilson circa 1997, those arches were partly disguised by Frank Gehry's balls. Large fiberglass spheres designed by the famous architect of the Getty Museum and Walt Disney Concert Hall, added in 1980 to help with acoustics. Gehry's balls are gone now, but the concentric archibalds remain, and the acoustics of the current bandshell are said to make the music sound exactly the same whether you're sitting in the orchestra or way up in the nosebleeds. Say you had a time machine and you could attend any show in the Bowl's 103-year history, which one would you choose? Would it be the night of its record attendance, 26,410, set in August 1937 by French opera star Lily Pons? Would it be Garrison Keillor's final episode of A Prairie Home Companion in 2016? Would it be one of Tom Petty's final shows just days before his death in 2017? Would it be Kanye's first full performance of 808 and Heartbreaks in 2015? Would it be the Beatles in 64 or 65? Would it be Elton John in 73 or the Jackson 5 in 71? Would it be the Supremes in 67? Or would it be the Doors or Jimi Hendrix in 1968? Maybe you'd go to the Playboy Jazz Festival, which has been at the Bowl annually since the 70s. Maybe you'd go to the one in the 90s where my dad saw a guy nearby him getting head under the blanket. If you're a giant queer, perhaps you'd predate the concentric arches altogether and go back to 1921 for Hollywood High School's production of Twelfth Night. I know where I would go. I would go to 1956. Didn't have to think very hard about it. The year of my parents' birth and Ella Fitzgerald's scintillating Hollywood Bowl debut alongside Louis Armstrong in a historic show in front of 20,000 that broke the venue's curfew and lasted all the way to midnight. Ella owned the bowl after that night. All my elders have an Ella Bowl experience to speak of. In one of her last appearances at the bowl, she took a scary fall and made up a poem about it on the spot. I missed out on Ella, but I didn't miss out on Ray.
Georgia. Georgia. The whole day through. Just an old sweet song keeps Georgia on my mind. I said, Georgia.
It's the second time I've heard this song in this venue.
Georgia. A song of you.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Comes as sweet and clear as moonlight through the pines. Other arms reach out for me. Other eyes smile tenderly. Still, in peaceful dreams, I see the road leads back to you. I said, Georgia, Georgia, no peace I find. Just an old sweet song keeps Georgia on my mind.
I didn't miss out on B.B. King or Dr. John, Gladys Knight or Shaka Khan. I didn't miss out on Tony Bennett. Last summer, a friend took me to the 1975. Another friend took me to Mozart Under the Stars, and I took myself to see Buddy Guy. I've always fantasized about one of these shows with my favorites going epically long and breaking that austere 11 o'clock curfew.
Nice. He knows how to blow it, man.
Georgia,
I see why Bob had him.
Yeah.
no peace I find. And just an old sweet song keeps Georgia on my mind. And just an old sweet song keeps Georgia on my mind.
But that will probably never happen again. Like the city itself, the Hollywood Bowl is not an intimate venue, but there is beauty in its size. The biggest names in the world perform on that stage, and yet the stage engulfs them. The stage is the star, and the audience an extension of the stage. You have to be very close to see who is playing at the bowl, but the further you are, the more picture you can see. And it's only from the highest, cheapest seats that you can catch the white letters of that famous sign to the northeast, a fitting label to the concentric arches. Ticket prices are no longer 25 cents, as they were in the beginning per F.W. Blanchard's slogan, "Popular prices will prevail." But the bowl, which is owned by the County of Los Angeles, still retains a communal quality that is far from common in L.A. The picnic spirit still prevails. You can still find cheap tickets to most of the shows, especially the ones programmed by the Bowl itself. Philharmonic on Tuesdays, Jazz and Blues on Wednesdays, always some sort of cinematic celebration to kick off and conclude each summer with fireworks. The Bowl is one of those places where you just might run into anyone, and anything can happen. As when 2 years ago, an armed transgender attacked Dave Chappelle on stage. The Hollywood Bowl, where summer is forever. Tonight, we're going to see Bob Dylan and Willie Nelson on their Outlaw Festival Summer Tour. I've been talking a lot about Bob on this show. As some of you know, episode 42, episode 59, Bob Dylan on Hollywood Boulevard, parts 1 and 2. Rough and Rowdy Ways. A lot of people have listened to those episodes and heard me make the case that Bob has been singing the history we are living in as it unfolds. Right up to the prophecy of an assassination. But this is a different show, a summer set. And if we can't hear Bob too well when he comes out singing Highway 61, we might worry that he's sick or that his voice is lost in this vast open air. By the time he slides into Lovesick, the haunting opening track on Time Out of Mind, which I hear is gaining popularity on TikTok with Zoomers lately, weird things are going on. By the time we hear him slide into Lovesick, we realize the problem isn't Bob. It's the drunken Kamalas all around us. So we leave our jacket behind and depart from the phony baloney, plastic banana, good time rock and rollers, as Rush called them, and go down to the curving walkway that separates the section in an echo of the arches on the stage. And we stand there and we begin to hear Bob for real. And we dance. And we are not alone. The Bowl is packed tonight. And it's a very all-ages crowd. A lot of cowboy hats for Willie. A lot of young people mixed in with the old heads like us. To our left, there's a man who's been a fan of Bob for 60 years. And to our right, there is Gen Z, solo, palpably employed, dancing herky-jerky just like us. And in the intermission, we start to talking. Well, we start nerding out together. When did he get into Bob, we ask. About the same time, it turns out, as the release of Bob Dylan on Hollywood Boulevard on filthy Armenian concentric arches. So tonight's adventure is a spontaneous, carefree, easygoing, strangers in the summer night conversation from the Hollywood Bowl. Something is happening here this summer night, and it's not just a picnic or a nostalgia act. Willie Nelson, at 91 years old, sounds more commanding, more final, more serious and urgent than he has in quite some time. Not least when he sings that new song about the border. As for Bob, it's never been more clear why he spent so much of the 2010s learning the Sinatra songbook. He has now figured out exactly how to sing his songs as if they were written by him today. The audience can hear it. The audience responds, and they're not responding only to what they imagine they hear, they're responding to what they hear. And perhaps to a fear that what they hear might be a certain history's final breath. Back-to-back storytellers of the American dream. How precious, how inspiring that a nation's emotional history of its heart, of its liver, of its balls and its freedom and its rage still has the power to be sung.
I'm doomed to love you, and I've been rolling through the stormy weather. I'm dreaming of you, and all the places we could roam together. it's mighty funny. The end of time has just begun. Oh, honey, even after all these years, you're still the one. I'm strolling through the lonely graveyard of my mind. I left my life with you, somewhere barefoot along the line. I thought somehow I would be spared this fate. And I don't know how much longer I can wait.
But for how much longer? For how much longer will summer be forever? Those searchlights, by the way, that beam up into the sky like white swords during every performance, are there to warn the aeroplanes. Hey everyone, it's your host Alec Mohibian with a quick note before we begin. Filthy Armenian Adventures is an interdimensional travel program that takes you deep into the cultural mysteries of our strange and interesting times. In search of truth, in search of gold, in search of lost friends and unsung heroes, in search of John Galt's motor. The show is supported entirely by patrons at patreon.com/filthyarmenian. Patrons get access to twice as many adventures, including the most intimate and scandalous ones, plus regular 5 to 15 minute smoke break mini episodes on movies, shows, and topics of the urgent moment. Patrons also get first dibs on our next live event. The first two were a smash. It's very easy to keep Filthy Armenian Adventures alive. You can still listen to the premium feed on Apple or Spotify or your favorite app, and you can do so with the pride that you're putting a little bit of money where your soul is. More patrons means more landmarks, more hotspots, more secret locations, and forbidden territories around the world, and the world that is Los Angeles, our apocalyptic headquarters. It means we'll be able to track down more enchanting figures in the landscape and dare them to abandon their masks. Patreon.com/filthyarmenian. Gracias for listening, and enjoy the show.
That's it. He never comes back for the one more.
I've never seen him do it on court.
Yeah.
You're doing great.
Do you think he might do a song with Willie?
It would be nice at the end, maybe.
It would be really nice.
It would be nice.
Just the one. One song.
I think
he's
finished.
He's probably. That's what I mean.
I was hoping for. I went to see Billy Strings. You seen Billy Strings in concert?
No.
You've got to see Billy.
Is he going to be in? Is he going to be up there?
No, but he's going to play in Washington with him at the board.
Okay, I'll look it up.
Yeah, but Billy Strings is at the Forum this month. We saw him. I saw him with my daughter last year.
Yeah.
But we're not going because I'm going to a Gary Clark concert on Thursday. He played on Friday and Saturday. Saturday I'm going to go see Robert Plant down in
Robert Plant. Oh, that's great.
Paso Robles.
Oh, Paso Robles.
We couldn't squeeze him.
Couldn't squeeze that one in.
Well.
Yeah, but you got a lot. At least it's because for good reasons. You got a lot of other popping stuff on the calendar.
Yeah.
I'd love to see Robert Plant.
I was at
To see something drop, did you? I just dropped the key to my car.
Oh,
Check out Billy Strings.
I will. Billy Strings?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's bluegrass, rock, country,
Oh, perfect.
all
All right.
jammed in one.
Perfect.
It's awesome.
Okay, perfect. Oh, you got a Tempest shirt.
Yeah, I got it. I saw this at Jones Beach
Was that recent?
like a month ago.
Oh, nothing. Okay.
Because I'm from the New York area.
Okay.
So I saw him there, and they were selling this shirt.
Oh, nice. It's a good one because that's like it's not even, it's a Tempest tour shirt. That's why, because it's not the album cover.
Right, yeah.
It's just
I thought it
him
was
looking
cool.
It's a cool shirt. I like it a lot. I wonder if they're selling it here.
I bet they are.
I want to. Yeah, I like that a lot. Are you a big Bob fan?
Yeah. This is my third time seeing it. I recently sort of really got into him.
When did you get into it? Exactly. Like, what was it like? Post-pandemic?
Yeah.
Post-pandemic. And what was the gateway? What was the?
I needed something to dig into because I had just gotten out of a very long-term relationship, and I was like, I need a fixation. So I was like, I'll go through Bob Dylan's discography, and then I got hooked.
Just nothing like tilted you to Bob. It was just sort of a.
I mean, I already knew a lot of the classics.
Right. But there had to be something in that, and something was in there that was like, he's the guy I should obsess my way out of this.
Well,
pain.
I don't know what it was. I that's sort of like when I get into artists, I like to just go in
all the way.
Yeah. And his was so extensive, his catalog.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think honestly, the song I think that really got me like all in was when I heard Visions of Joanna.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know why.
I hope that wasn't the name of your ex.
It was not.
Okay.
It was not.
But that doesn't matter because Joanna is sort of an all-encompassing name, isn't it?
Right. And then from there, yeah, I don't know.
That's great. So that was 21, 22, 20, 23?
23.
23, very recent.
Yeah.
Visions of Joanna. Blonde on blonde.
Blonde on blonde.
Was she blonde?
She was not.
Okay, well, still, blonde. They're all blonde. In a way, everyone's
Right.
In a way, all of them are blonde. All ex-girlfriends are blonde. That's great. And what was the have you been? What do you think of the Rough and Rowdy Ways? Did you listen to that one much at all? The most recent one.
Yeah, I thought it was great. So I saw him on that tour.
Oh right, yeah. I've seen him several times going back years, but I've seen him twice on the Rowdy Ways tour.
Yeah.
When it was in LA 22 at the Pantages Theater, which is a famous theater on Hollywood, and in New York at the King's Theater.
Okay, I saw him right after. I saw him the night after he was at the King's Theater. I saw him in Newark, New Jersey.
Oh, Newark. Okay, perfect. Yeah, I was going to go to that one. It was between that and King's.
That's a cool venue, NJPAC. But yeah, I love it. I love the song Key West.
Key West is great, isn't it? It made me literally go to fucking Key West. I went to Key West. The first place I went after the first traveling I did from when the pandemic started a whole year later was to go to Key West because I was doing nothing but walking around LA, Hollywood, listening to fucking Key West through my ears.
That's awesome.
And the rest of that album.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I've never been. I should go.
It's like
the song sells it.
The song sells it. It's a spiritual place. Just walk around with a song in your ears, and it's definitely something to see. It's something to feel more than see actually.
No, totally. I really like.
Beautiful drive too from Miami. If you drive,
I really like that whole album because that one was like I sort of appreciate that one because it's like the closest thing I have to like a new Dylan album, like one of because I remember when it came out, I actually even before I got into him, I listened to Murder Most Foul because I was curious.
Quite the interesting song to to be released in 2020 like that.
Right, so random. When I saw him in Newark, it was the day before the 60th anniversary of the Kennedy assassination. I'm like, there's no way he pulls it out, right? He did not.
He has not. But you know what? I'm living for when he does because I feel like he's gonna pull it out at a very, very perfect moment. I really feel like he's going to. And I want to be there when he does.
I know.
I don't know how I'm going to be there, but I can try to telegraph it. I can try to, telepathically know that on this location that day.
Totally. Do you have a
incredible song?
What's your favorite album?
Oh, favorite? Gosh, it's hard to say. Honestly, it's really hard. Okay, I'll go. Old Dylan favorite album is Bringing It All Back Home. Highway 61 is a close second. And then New Dylan favorite album. It's between Modern Times, maybe Modern Times #1, Modern Times and Time Out of Mind.
Yeah,
It's just they're too perfect.
Not Dark Yet is like one of my favorite.
Yeah.
And I love Standing in the Doorway as well.
I mean, so many of them.
Yeah.
So many of them are like kick me right in the ass.
Oh,
And I also enjoy listening to them. It's just fun to listen to. It's when I need a pickup in my mood. There's so many tracks on both of them that get my blood going. I just always like playing them. I'm always playing them. But I mean, Ain't Talking is such an amazing achievement. I don't think people even realize. I mean, it's gotten a lot of credit, but still, it's so good for the time it was released. It wasn't just like some random thing out of time either. That's the crazy thing if you look back. So yeah, those are the two. Those two new, and then middle. Give me a fire in the middle. The middle is the great song called Blind Willie McTell. Have you heard it?
Of course. Yeah. I don't know how it didn't make the album.
I think, one this rock critic I know, I was asking about that. He said maybe he just thought it was too good for that album. It made the other songs on Infidel seem lesser,
That's a great song.
It's an amazing song, especially that one outtake of that one rehearsal version of it. But yeah, album, I mean, I like his Christian stuff, so.
I do too, and I'm not a Christian.
Right. I mean, I am, but I like it regardless of, I liked it before I was. So I like I think there's a lot of like great spirit in like the way he sings.
I love the conviction he has through that period. And the production. Especially on Slow Train Coming.
Slow Train's great.
Yeah.
I think I like this just the way he sings like in the opening of Saved. What's that first song? Like I'm richer by far with a satisfied mind.
I think it's Satisfied Mind.
Satisfied Mind, which is an old hymn, I think.
Yeah.
But it's such a commanding performance.
I love there's a live version of Solid Rock from the Trouble No More bootleg series.
Yeah.
It's like live in Toronto.
Yeah.
It is like the funkiest thing.
That's interesting. Which one?
Solid Rock.
It's in the bootleg with all the...
Yeah. It's live in Toronto, and it's just... He's got like... The band he's playing with is great. He's got a ton of backup singers. But it sounds like, to me, it was like, this kind of reminds me of like Little Feat.
Yeah.
And I looked it up. It turns out the guitarist in that band went on to be in Little Feat.
There you go. So you have a good ear. You have a sharp ear. I really wish I wasn't alive, obviously, but or not obviously, but I really wish I went to one of his concerts during the Christian period, where the ones that got really wild and like where he was preaching and all this shit, because I've heard the performances of the songs were just so much better live. Everybody was saying, and it's a different level, and that happens a lot. So,
I love that whole Trouble No More. That's like one of my favorite of the bootleg series. I mean, that's kind of my favorite period of Dylan. So my favorite albums. I mean, Tangled Up, Blood on Tracks means a lot to me.
Right. That's the breakup. Blood on Tracks, I feel, for straight guys who break up.
Yes.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Like that.
That's all for the free feed on this one, folks. For this concert episode, you'll have to subscribe on patreon.com/filthyarmenian. You will get more than twice as many full episodes and also regular smoke break mini eps on topics and media and news of the day. Thank you so much for listening. Hope you tell your friends and hope you're having a lovely summer.